of indices.
You put them into fractions, correct?
We're talking about the domain. We're not asked to simplify or try to do anything. You cannot simplify. So the square root of a plus b or any index cannot be changed into anything. So please remember this. This will be a terrible mistake. So you cannot simplify something like this in any way, shape, or form. We're asked to find the domain. What did we say last time about the domain? Yes, sorry.
If it's even, it's either 0 or positive.
Good. What is? Excellent. What is?
What's inside the...
Yes, indeed.
Right.
That's all I needed to say. Thank you. So negative x greater or equal to negative 5. We divide or multiply by negative 1. What happens next?
You flip the sign.
Good. Can anyone give us the domain then?
Negative infinity to 5.
Very good. Awesome. Good job. Thank you. Who was that?
Brianna.
Thank you. Well done. Perfect. Okay, moving on. So let's look at supply and demand. Let's choose any supply and demand situation. Maybe we want to look at something with rationals like this. Maybe a radical situation like this. And then I can consider this chapter.
90.
Which one?
90.
You said 89?
I think she said 94.
Oh. 90.
Yes,
Okay. So Q equals 5 minus x, and Q equals the square root of x plus 7.
That's 93, Professor.
Oh, is that the same?
They're similar.
Okay. Is that okay? Because I don't have any other similar problem to ask you to work on it. So I'm going to ask you to work on this one. So let's do 93. Same thing. All the same. Okay. So I don't really like this Q, but it's like Y. I don't know why they are using Q. It doesn't matter really, but anyway. So in this problem, we're asked to find the equilibrium point. I believe so. Find the equilibrium point for each pair of demand and supply functions. True. Okay. So what did we say? How do we determine the equilibrium point? What do we need to do?
It's where the functions are equal.
Correct. So all we have to do is just write this. What type of equation is this? That is always the first step, because if I identify it correctly, I have great chances of solving it correctly. What type is it? What type of equation is this?
Quadratic? Or no?
Quadratic will have to have x squared. If it doesn't have x squared, it cannot be quadratic.
Quadratic formula. That's not right.
No. Just read it in your mind and see what can it be. Just read it. Once you read it, you have to say it.
Is it a square root?
Right, it's a radical equation. Of course, right? Radical equation. Good. Excellent. How do we solve a radical equation? What do we need to do?
You would square both sides.
Awesome. Who said that?
Megan.
Thank you. Of course. Of course. Good. Now I want you to make me proud, because we started the semester with this, and tell me what I have to write on the right-hand side. Please make me proud. That was the first thing we discussed last week.
It would be negative x squared.
But I square it, right?
Yeah. And then negative 10x.
Awesome! You made me
25.
proud. Who was that?
Megan.
Thank you. Well done. And the right-hand side, can anyone help us with the right-hand side? Excellent. Because this is a binomial squared, which results into a trinomial. Excellent. Thank you.
The right side would just be x plus 7.
Awesome. Now, what type of equation is this?
A
Now it's
quadratic.
quadratic.
Now, this is indeed quadratic. Awesome. Good. If it's quadratic, I have to move everything to one side. And I subtract. When I subtract x, when I subtract 7, I'm hoping it's factorable. But if it takes more than 30 at the most seconds to factor, forget it. I will use the quadratic formula. Unless I'm told you have to factor, but no one will force us to factor. If we don't want to, we can use the quadratic formula. So
X minus 9. And then X minus 2.
excellent. So then x equals 9 and x equals 2. Big question mark, whenever note. When squaring or taking both sides, I should say, raising both sides of an equation to a power. Normally it happens for the even powers, but in general, we must check the prospect solutions. Of course, back in the original problem, this is not the original, 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 this is the original problem. This is where I check. So let's check. I'm checking 9. I already know it's not going to work because the left-hand side is 5 minus 9, which is negative 4. And the right-hand side cannot be negative. This is 9 plus 7, which is 16. The square root of 16 is 4, but they are not equal. So I will say goodbye. You don't work. Not good. Okay, now I'm checking 2. Does 2 work?
Yes, it does.
Yes, the left-hand side is 3. The right-hand side is 3. 2 plus 7 is 9. The square root of 9 is 3. Yes. So x equals 2. The equilibrium point has to have the x, comma, the y. So how do I get the y? I just plug it in either one. It doesn't matter. It has to be 3. So if I plug in one function, 5 minus x, I get 3. And I have to get 3 when I plug in the other one. So we already checked that. So this is the equilibrium point. It's a point. It cannot have just x. It has to have the y coordinate as well. Well done. Okay, we have 3 more minutes. At least let's start another one. Maybe the one with rationals here. They are the same, just the numbers are different. They are exactly the same. Okay, which one?
89.
The linear ones you have no difficulty, and then we'll stop after this. I liked our discussions today very much, and I'm very pleased. Okay, so the same question. So what do we do in order to determine the equilibrium point?
You have to set them equal to each other.
Very good. 5 over x equals x over 5. What type of equation is this?
Rational.
Excellent. It has x in the denominator. Rational. Excellent. Who said that?
Natalie.
Thank you. Good. But furthermore, this is something called proportion. And only in the proportion I can do this. I love it. Only in the proportion I can cross multiply. Five times 5, x times x. What type of equation is this now?
Now it's a quadratic.
Excellent. How many solutions will a quadratic equation have?
2.
Absolutely mandatory. Thank you very much. Who said that?
Jessica.
Very good. Thank you. So I move 25 to the other side and let's factor. Yes, I can take the square root. There's a discussion there, and I like to do that when we have a little bit more time. So I move 25, so it's x squared minus 25. Can anyone give us the factored form?
X plus 5 and x minus 5.
Excellent. This is the second product, special product we discussed this semester. Thank you. So then we have 5 and negative 5. Can I manufacture negative 5? I'm sorry. Can I have a price of negative 5?
No.
No. So then not the break even, sorry. The equilibrium point has 5, comma, comma what?
1.
Exactly, because you have to plug it in. 5 over 5 is 1. Excellent.